H6, analyze the impact of Reconstruction on Georgia. Element E, give examples of goods and services produced during the Reconstruction era, including the use of sharecropping and tenant farming. Our learning target today, I will explain sharecropping and tenant farming and the goods and services that are produced. From 1865 to 1872, Georgia was agriculturally in trouble. The Civil War left much of Georgia destroyed. Farmers and factories were burned and torn down. Families were trying to pick up after the Civil War. As time went on, large farm plantations were subdivided into smaller plantations. Coastal farms increased and rice plantation lands were subdivided and sold to new owners. Cotton was still hot and people still continued to grow it rapidly. Unfortunately, the supply was so high that the demand for cotton was low and it wasn't selling well. Confederate money was worthless and a lot of people didn't have any other kind. Due to the shortage of money, many farmers were unable to pay their workers. This is where sharecropping and tenant farming come into the picture. It was one way to keep poor farmers, both black and white, working and in debt. Sharecropping and tenant farming were kind of the same. Both groups usually were poor and illiterate, they couldn't read or write, and both groups usually consisted of both blacks and whites. Both agreed to work the land and give part of their crops to the landowners in agreement to have land to work on. Both had certain things they needed to buy to work the land, which caused them to be further in debt. The differences between them were big. Tenant farmers usually owned their tools, animals, and other equipment. They received close to 3/4 of the harvest and had a better chance of getting ahead. Sharecroppers owned nothing and only offered labor and only received half the harvest.